How's it going?
Lokahi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
So I guess that was good news in a sense because after the game, I think a lot of people saw the replay and they were fearing with John Rice that that didn't look good. Like maybe it was a season-ending injury, but you just heard it. Gus just said, we'll see. But the hope is he doesn't have to have surgery. He can be back this season. So how excited does that make you feel knowing that John Rice could potentially come back this year?
Yeah, that's great news. Anytime you have an injury like that, especially with your leg, and you don't need surgery, it's big time. He'll be able to come back this season, and that's always good. You're QB1, being able to play, and especially his last year, and for John Rice, I love him like a brother. So yeah, I'm just glad he can come back and play this season.
Do you guys have to change as an offensive line? Do you have to change your mentality with a new quarterback? I mean, you've obviously played with Timmy in practice and things like that, but does anything change when you have a new guy behind center?
I think for the whole offense, everybody's level has to step up. Not only the offensive line, but for sure us up front, we just have to work on our communication. Make sure that we know our assignments code, and there's nothing that can mess with what we got going on. So.
As a captain, with John Rice out for a couple weeks, obviously he's still going to be on the sideline, but what do you have to do to step up as like a leader?
Yeah, John Rice will still be there. Us six captains will always lead the team and make sure that no matter what happens and what situations we're in, that we stay through it and we stay the course. We're still a championship team, regardless if it's John Rice or Timmy in the backfield. So I'm excited to go and I'm excited to play.
Obviously, the relationship between the line and the quarterback is essential. What would you say your relationship is like with Timmy so far?
Timmy's been with us for this whole fall camp, and he's been grinding with us. He's been sharing reps with John Rice with the ones this whole time. So I'm just excited to see Timmy ball out, and he's a dynamic quarterback. He can do magic things with his legs. Gus said we played him a few years ago over here, and he almost beat us. We've seen what he can do, and I'm ready to see Timmy play.
You said that the scheme's not going to change. Do you have to change anything, protection, like responsibility-wise with him being left-handed?
Nothing really changes. There's some plays that may be adjusted, just the way his release point is, but other than that, all the scheme stays the same. The offense pretty much stays standard. Timmy's been practicing and doing the same plays John Rice has been doing all camp, so I'm ready and confident to see what he can do under our system.
Gus has talked a lot about the importance of winning close games, even with the quarterback change. How much of a confidence boost for the rest of the season is getting a big win in a close
Sorry,
game?
what did you say again?
Sorry. How much of a confidence boost is it for the team getting a big win in a close game this past weekend?
Oh yeah, it's huge for our team. It was a grind. Any win in college football is a big win. It doesn't matter. Winning college football is hard, no matter what opponent you play. So just going on that road game, playing in a stadium like that, and coming with a dub back home is just important for this program and important for this team going on for the rest of the season.
We talked to Gus about Colton. Some of the other players talked about Colton's personality. For you, what do you see out of a guy like that who has to kind of be clutch and make that kick at the end of the game?
Yeah, man. He has it in him. Like Coach has been saying, like he's a clutch man. I kind of think of like Steph Curry, like in those moments, like who are you going to give the ball to, or like even Michael Jordan. Like, yeah, I believe Colton Boomer. Like if we're on the 40-yard line or plus, like he's gonna knock it in no matter what. He just has that in his blood, and I like that. They got the ice in his veins.
Obviously there were some drop issues early in the game. What did you see from the wide receivers stepping back up and having great games after drops?
Yeah, it happens. Drops happen, life happens, people make mistakes, but like you said, they came back and they made big plays when we needed it. So being in that situation at the end of the game and everybody executing like we should be, especially in that situation where, hey, the game's on the line, like we got to win this game. It was great to see for our offense and great to see for our team.
Kind of building off of that, how important was it to see the group kind of stay together after some of the miscues and bounce back the way you guys did, especially on the road to get that?
Yeah, it's huge. Just being a part of that and being a part of that game, I know that a lot of us will remember it for the rest of our lives. I know it was a close game and it came down to the wire, but those type of games is what you love about football. You love that camaraderie, you love the brotherhood, especially after in the locker room when you get to party after a big win and a big kick.
There was a false start late, and Was that just kind of, was Boise doing something, or the noise, or just kind of getting the cohesion to work together with some new starters? What kind of would you attribute that to?
Yeah, we made some mental mistakes during the game. I would say lack of communication is a big thing. That's a point of emphasis we're going to work on this week, especially up front. Make sure we got all our assignments right. Make sure there's no miscommunication before that ball snap. And once we get that figured out, there's not going to be any more of that. So, yeah.
Okay, you guys got Villanova this week at FCS going in. What do you see from that team, and what does it mean to play a program that's maybe a little hungry, upstart, from a different conference or different league that's trying to get up there?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these situations, UCF has been in that. So, I'm kind of aware, like, oh, Villanova's an up-and-coming team, but we're that team now, you know what I mean? So, like, we just kind of have to focus on our game, do our thing, and just handle an opponent like that. And I see what they're doing, and I see that how they got off to a great start this season, and I'm glad for them. But we're ready to play, and we're ready to make the mistakes that we made and fix them. Yeah.
Coach Shaw talked yesterday about how in fall camp you guys practiced with 105 on the 20-yard line and one timeout. Did that really prep you for that last drive? And were you confident knowing you had more time, another timeout? Oh yeah, situational football, we do it a bunch during practice, and those are important. Just making sure everybody is in the game and knowing the situation, knowing the down and distance, knowing how much time you got on the clock, how much time outside you got left. Knowing, like, hey, can we run the ball here? Can we pass? Like, do we have to get the sticks on this down? Like, is it 4-down territory? Running those situations through your head throughout the week. When you get to the game, it makes it that much easier. That's why I feel like we performed the way we did when it got to that situation, because we were all ready and we were prepared because we've been working on it forever.
Guys, also.
Appreciate y'all.